Hi everyone, it's Jay here, and today I'm going to review some of the manga I read last month in November. I only read 8 volumes, which is terrible. I usually read before bed, and I kept falling asleep as soon as I actually got into bed, so it probably didn't help that I was quite sick in November, so my body needed the rest. But next month, I promise I'm going to read more. So I'm going to talk about these volumes in no particular order. I'm going to start with my favourite volume of the month, Yakuza Fiancé 5. I love the front cover. It gives off power couple vibes, and there's a moment in this volume where we get that, and I'll bring that up in a moment. So for those who don't know, it's about an arranged engagement between Yoshino and Kirishima, both from Yakuza families, Osaka and Tokyo respectively. So this volume carries on from the previous volume, as they're both in Osaka, and because it's Yoshino's home turf, she's just completely badass in this volume. One minute she's ripping her skirt so she can run faster, and the next she's riding a bike into someone's face. I know it sounds strange, but trust me, it is so funny. And I really like how she can also recognise when she's out of her depth. For example, when she's in a fight against this big guy and her weapon of choice is a stick that she found and it breaks on him, she runs away. So she does have survival instincts, which I really, really like. And this confrontation leads to the power couple moment with Yoshino and Kirishima looking pure evil against the bad guys. This bit here, it's just fantastic, and for me there is so much payoff just in this panel because I've been wanting this moment for so long, where they're both in a position of power against the baddies. So glad it finally happened. The two of them also have an honest talk. It was so interesting. It gave us an insight into Kirishima, and man, he is messed up in the head. If you haven't picked this up yet, please go pick it up. It's a really great series. This volume and volume 4 especially have been a lot of fun. So if you dropped it before these, try and give it another go. Then I have my least favourite read of the month, The Dragon King's Imperial Wrath 2. Not to say it was bad, I did enjoy it. I especially liked Ryuing's view on her bond, like fated mate thing with the king. She's not being childish and obstinate, saying she's not in love, so they're not going to get married. It is set in a time when arranged political marriages are the norm, and she knows this, and instead she wants to learn and be ready to support him, get to know him better. For the time period, it is what it is, and she's potentially going to marry someone who seems to like her a lot, so there's a bonus there. But I really enjoyed the meetings with the Princess of the Rabbit Clan, which had an interesting but kind of sad society. I won't say more for spoilers reasons, but I love how women in that society kind of worked the loopholes, and Yu-chan seems to be a really sweet friend for Ryuing. Hopefully she doesn't go all cliche and become jealous of not being the king's bride to be and try and backstab her. I don't think that's where the story is going to go, but in an environment like this with a competition between women to be the next bride, it's nice not to have every woman become a green-eyed villain. One thing I will say about this series is that they're quite slim for the price. See how thin that is? But I just found out there's apparently only one more volume to go, then it's finished. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I will definitely get volume 3 for the sake of completing the series, but I feel kind of disappointed that this is it. It doesn't feel like enough time to really develop the characters. It's kind of left me deflated about the series, actually. Moving on to Midnight Secretary, I read volumes 1 to 3 of this series in November. I read them many years ago online, but this year I managed to find all the volumes, and so I bought them. I read them the week after Halloween because I was feeling that Halloween vampire vibe, and I love the colours for this series. So each volume has a bright colour, and it looks really great on my bookshelf because these are the spines. I really like the bright colours. Sometimes the white of the other spines can get a bit boring, so this is very nice. Our main character is Kaya, who has a bit of a baby face, which is not great in her line of work, but with her hair pulled back and glasses, she looks the part of a secretary. Yes, it is that trope, but I low-key love it and find it quite funny. So she is amazing at her job. She's so good the company asked her to be the secretary to Kyohei Toma, which is this guy here. He's the director of the family company, and he's not a good boss at all. And he initially rejects her because she isn't pretty enough. Again, classic trope. But she asks for a chance to prove herself, and he cannot fault her work ethic. She's just that good. And one day she discovers he is a vampire. But that just makes him a bigger jerk to her, blackmailing her into not saying anything by threatening to get her mother fired. He's not a nice guy, but she is so funny. She just gets on board with everything. So she's trying to figure out his weaknesses as a vampire so she can protect him from them in the future. And this is what I love about the series. She's not doing it because she likes him, but because she sees it as her job to make sure the director is in top form for his job. At one point, she gets a cross necklace near him just to see if it has any effect on him. And he can't contain himself. He finds it really, really funny. So this series does give you the obligatory transformation scene. Take away her glasses, stick her in a dress with her hair down, and voila, a beautiful woman has appeared. Honestly, it has all the tropes, but it's so fun, I really don't mind at all. It has kind of a 90s, 2000s feel to it, so it fits in with that time frame quite well. Anyway, from there she obviously starts to grow feelings for him, and their relationship develops throughout the first 3 volumes to Kyohei realising his feelings and acting on them, but also showing that he's actually competent at being a businessman, so he didn't just get the job because of his father. It's a Josei Viz Media release from the 2000s, so if that is your vibe, check it out. But a warning, it's rated mature for a reason. Okay, and it is jam-packed with cheese and tropes, so if that's your thing, go for it. My second favourite reads of the month were volumes 6, 7 and 8 of The Promised Neverland. This series just keeps getting better and better. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, so I'll keep it as light as possible. I found the demons in volume 6 to be great. It's not black and white where all demons are bad and all good, which makes for great side characters, and we finally find out about what is going on outside of the orphanage. Oh my gosh. I did not see it coming at all. And there's a moment in the volume where I actually stopped and stared in horror. It's talking about mass production farms. They were grim, horrible, and well, it's how we mass produce meat, so I shouldn't be too judgmental, but I found it to be really hard hitting. And in volume 7 we meet a new character who has the potential to be really dangerous to the children, but it's clear that he has a sad backstory and it's hard to fully hate him, especially when we find out what it is. And the writers of this storyline are excellent. They are unbelievably capable of weaving in different characters, each with their own story, to create a journey that has you laughing one moment and near tears the next. There's a moment where the panels alternate between the children recovering from a hunt and the demons eating the kids. And it's just so very, very well done. It's beautifully written, and if you haven't read this series yet, please do so. It is fantastic. And brace yourselves for some very sad and very creepy scenes in volume 8. And that is it. Like I said, I'm hoping to read more books in December, but we'll see how that goes, as December always ends up being busier than I think it will. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any thoughts on the series I read this month, please let me know in the comments below. And if you now want to go on a manga buying spree, yay, check out SciFier.com. It has cheap manga and shipping is a flat rate of £1.99. And if you use my code JaysManga, you'll also get 10% off their already discounted prices. I'll leave the link and the code in the description below. But I hope you all have a lovely manga reading month. Bye everyone.